I am so happy and so thankful to you to watch this video, and may the infinite affluence name God bless me and my education and experience that it is a worthy investment of your time share and mind share. Today I'm going to tell you one of my favorite inspirational quote or mantra. This is not made by me. I do not remember which great gentleman wrote this mantra, but I happen to pick it up this mantra probably 8 years back in the course of life. The mantra is pretty simple: everything is hard before it becomes easy. I will repeat, and if you believe in it, just feel the intensity at the back of your mind. I do not want you to marvel on the intellectual delight of it. I want you to be calm and feel the intensity by correlating it with some of your own life's incident which you have big handicap or a big challenge that you had, and you stick with that hard time and you were able to win it over a span of time, not easily, not effectively, not immediately, but over the span of time because of consistency, focus, commitment, and perseverance. Everything is hard before it becomes easy. I found today, including myself, had very tough time, and the reason why we had tough time is what I personally call is a lot of factors, including oneself, is we do not want to work hard. And trust me, you can make a lot of money, you can make a lot of success, you can make a very satisfying part of life by working less and being more productive. This is quite irony, but everywhere at the start, you have to work hard, you have to be more committed, you have to take margins of mistakes, failures, being ditched. And my philosophy is pretty simple. I really like to give a very neat and clean positive picture of, not positive, but pros and cons of the picture, so that people like you who are watching this video are smart enough to evaluate both the pros and cons and where they themselves are fit, and then they can eventually settle for that kind of package deal. For me, life is a package deal, and any and everything is eventually a package deal. Now, coming back to everything is hard before it becomes easy. Start how we learn how to drive a cycle or two-wheeler, four-wheeler. When I implemented this idea, a phase of depression and a phase where people were trying to misguide me on the name of being, because they were comparatively more successful, they were comparatively more richer, and they were comparatively more influencing in the societal structure. And the way Indian society is groomed up is where not just Indian, wherever it is competition, so is the US corporate world, and so is the UK corporate world, and the culture there is where, you know, people have the tendency of being very competitive. Now I'm not talking about showing myself down, and because there's a continuous race, an unending race of being competitive, it automatically forces you deep inside to cut the other person down, get jealous automatically. And all these factors were there at the time when I discovered this mantra. And deep inside, I believe in something myself. And today, what I am, I'm basically reaping the investment of the seeds that I have sown 10 years back, 8 years back, implementing this mantra. I am so happy and I will be so thankful if you guys correlate to your own minds or some big challenge that you had, in terms of life, in terms of career, in terms of financial, in terms of any kind of thing. Might be a dispute with your wife, or any kind of thing where you had a big disappointment. You decided to take it and convert your disaster into opportunity, and it demanded a lot of hard work, commitment, disappointments initially, but you had been consistent and focused. I do not want you to comment on this video because I do not watch any such thing, but I want you to basically just get in that mood swing, and get in that mind frame of your own winning out against odd, and feel the intensity of this mantra. The intellectual delight part is a different thing, and feeling that intensity when you have correlated it back with your own past success or a past tough time, and you have took it strongly and decided to turn things upside down, and you have stood things. And then I want you to understand what was the critical factor that at that point of time you decided to do. One thing I decided to do was a mistake that I did, which I eventually corrected, was I tried to do a lot of things immediately, which was far beyond my ability to manage. Second thing is I wanted to get a lot of things as fast as possible, if not immediately. This is another typical reason why mass majority of people fail. This is just like, uh, I want to reduce 20 kgs. I go ahead with a costly gym. I'm determined, or some interesting quotation like this, and then we go and we join the gym for 5 7 days. We are slogging like anything. Then we are, is what is the psychology behind it? I'm not talking about the incident. I'm talking about what is the psychology. We want to be. It is just the get rich quick. We want to reduce the weight immediately. We want big sum of success all of a sudden. And this was my mistake, which holded me for years long. Even though this mantra, everything is hard before it becomes easy, was a strong motivational support. But then, when it come to practically implementing, I understood that the start is all about going slow, going small, learning through the way, and keep correcting it before and get to a plateau level where you have to systematically scale up. And even scaling up needs a very systematic way. In diversification, there is a theory of due diligence. So someone who's diversifying systematically, you have to go with a due diligence cycle and things like that. But no, okay, coming to this point, uh, so when you are in the force of this mantra, everything is hard before it becomes easy. It's amazing to have a motivational feel, which I do not want you to focus on. What I want you to focus on is get in that mood swing of your past successes, and understand all the past failures where you have gone, and now do a little bit of introspection, calm your mind. At that point of time, if you have to relive the same thing, what things, how you would like to correct it, so that you can get it really fast, or what kind of management mistakes you did then which you can correct now. Like I told you, I did this mistake. I I told you, I was like trying to do a lot of things really fast, and I wanted a big result all of a sudden, which never happened. And this is what I'm correcting now, because now I'm systematically uh, understanding and going slow, going small, easily manageable chunks of life. So again, uh, everything is hard before it becomes easy. But what Advait, as a businessman, as a management guru, as a strategist, want you to focus on, because you have invested so valuable 10 minutes of yours on this video, is not to get an intellectual delight of this management mantra, but feel, to try to correlate in your subconscious or mind or whatever past experience of some some challenge that you had in the past, which you stood strongly and you faced it, and over the span of time, you boldly took it in your advantage. And I want you to, once you are in that mind frame and your subconscious is just like it's more of a jet lag kind of scenario where you are just recalling that experience at that point of time, what were the, if you have to repeat the same thing, what kind of mistakes you are not you are going to avoid, or what kind of management lessons that you want to learn to implement this motivational code. I'm so happy, I'm so thankful and grateful and happy that you invested 11 big minutes of your life. Hope this mutually profits. Thank you.